With more than 3 decades of experience handling criminal defense cases throughout California, Jerry Nicholson has the background, skills, judgment, and reputation he needs to provide clients with sound legal advice and high-quality, aggressive defense representation against criminal charges in the Long Beach and Orange County areas. Let's meet Jerry Nicholson. Hello, Jerry.
How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming in. Please
Thank
sit
you.
down. So, Jerry, tell us about your background and what sets you apart from other criminal defense attorneys.
Well, I started off 37 years ago as a deputy district attorney for Orange County, so I was originally a prosecutor. It was in that area that I received my initial experience, my jury trial experience. And when you're a deputy district attorney or a deputy public defender, you're in court every day and you're trying cases every day. So that's the best way, generally speaking, to start off and gain that basic experience and that understanding of jury trial work. After that initial experience, I opened up my own law offices, and for the past 37 years, that's what I've been doing, is criminal law exclusively, no other types of cases.
And you're right, I would assume that's a good place to start. You see the other side of things, so you know that defense against the other side.
There's an old adage that says you keep your friends close and your enemies closer, and to know your adversary, you have to have been part of that.
Now, what should a person who's charged with a crime look for in a criminal defense lawyer?
Well, the first thing you're looking for is good communication skills. If your lawyer is talking over you, around you, talking down to you, seems disinterested, not attentive to your needs, that's not somebody you want representing you in a criminal court where your liberty's at stake. What you're looking for is somebody who's got good communication skills, somebody who expresses an interest and an understanding of your personal situation, somebody who's got the experience and the background to make sure that they're giving you the best representation possible.
What are some of the tools that you use to provide a defense for your clients?
We have several tools that we use. Private investigative services. I've worked with my private investigator for almost 40 years now. So he's somebody that I can rely on, somebody I know and trust to get to the bottom of things. In certain kinds of sexual cases, we use psychologists to prepare reports to the court. In those kinds of cases, I've used my particular psychologist for over 25 years now. So it's these kinds of tools that I have available to me that in turn seamlessly represent my clients.
Now, let's say I'm arrested and I consider myself to be a fairly smart guy, and I'm not talking about me specifically, but a fairly smart guy, you get arrested, you know you're innocent. Should the client ever represent himself in a criminal proceeding?
The person who represents themselves generally has a fool for a client.
Yeah.
You can't replace the experience, the skill, the understanding of the procedural issues necessary to represent someone. And when a person represents themselves, they have none of that knowledge, none of that experience. They don't know when they're being taken advantage of by the system or not.
Well, when you are arrested, and again, I mean, hopefully the viewers here are not going to be arrested, but some will, or there's certainly no people who are arrested. It just seems over and over that people start talking to the police. And, innocent or not, they're interrogated. Am I wrong? Should their first call not be to a person like you?
Well, it should be to a person like me. And the reason for that is everyone's got a Fifth Amendment right not to provide testimony against themselves. But doesn't everyone have the experience when they're driving along, and even if they're getting pulled over for a ticket, the palms get sweaty, they get a little bit nervous, the heartbeat races just a little bit. And in those instances, you're not prepared to answer questions. You're not prepared to think out and think through the responses that you're giving to law enforcement. Very, very important not to say anything and to call your lawyer.
Yeah, and so often, I believe, and again, I'm talking like I have all this experience in being arrested, and I don't, but I watch a lot of television, and it just seems to me that so often the person being arrested, he's just trying to be a nice guy, trying to be reasonable with the police, and maybe just gives a little information. Again, could be perfectly innocent, but they're just trying to be helpful, trying to be a good guy, and it comes up and gets you.
Police officers are trained in the use of interrogation techniques, and they know how to play good cop, bad cop. They know how to play you off against the nervousness that you naturally feel in any given situation. So again, the best bet is not to say anything, because by not saying anything, at least you know you're not providing your enemy with a weapon to use against you.
Why should a person charged with a crime choose the law offices of Jerry Nicholson?
Because we have all of the criteria necessary to represent somebody effectively. First of all, there's no doubting that it's the experience that's the most important thing. By having 37 years, both sides of the fence, both prosecution and defense, I've got that experience, and my firm has that kind of experience. The next thing is local knowledge. All these years I've spent in the Long Beach, Orange County area, getting to know the judges, getting to know the prosecutors, probation, law enforcement, all the people involved in the criminal and justice system.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I hope I don't need your services, but if I do, I'm calling you because you've got a wonderful reputation. I know you're doing it right. So thank you very much, Jerry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.